In many parts of Africa, rivers are not just water, they are life itself. They are where villages are built, where children learn to swim, where farmers draw water for their crops, and where fishermen go every morning to earn a living. For generations, rivers have fed families, sustained communities, and shaped civilizations across the continent. Fishing in many African communities is not just an activity, it is survival, it is tradition, it is culture passed down from father to son, from mother to daughter. But in one quiet town in southwestern Nigeria, there is a river that defies all of this. A river filled with fish, yet nobody is allowed to catch even one. Not because the government banned it, not because there are signs warning people away, but because of a belief so old, so deeply rooted in culture that no one dares to question it. This is the story of the Osun River in Osogbo, a river where fishing has been forbidden for centuries. At first glance, the river looks ordinary. Calm water flowing gently through thick forest, tree branches stretching over the surface, birds flying quietly above, fish swimming freely beneath the clear water. Everything about it looks perfect for fishing, and that is what makes the story even more mysterious. Because the fish here live without fear of humans. They swim undisturbed, they multiply, they thrive in a way that rivers in many other places no longer do. And the reason is not science, it is belief. The people of Osogbo believe this river is the dwelling place of Osun, the Yoruba goddess of fertility, protection, prosperity, and life. To them, Osun is not a myth from the past. She is a living spiritual presence tied directly to this water. The river is not just a river, it is sacred ground. It is a spiritual home, and everything inside it belongs to the goddess, including the fish. Every year, thousands of worshippers gather at this river for the famous Osun-Osogbo festival. They come dressed in white. They bring offerings. They sing, they pray, they dance. The atmosphere is filled with drums, chants, and reverence. But even during the celebration, even with thousands of people standing beside the water, no one attempts to fish, because some rules are never broken. Stories have been passed down through generations. Stories of people who tried to ignore the tradition. Some say their fishing nets tore mysteriously. Others say they fell sick shortly after. Some stories speak of spiritual consequences that followed them home. Whether these stories are myth, warning, or memory, they have achieved something powerful. They have created obedience without enforcement, respect without policing, protection without laws. Long before the world began talking about environmental conservation, long before governments created wildlife protection acts, this river was already protected, not by regulations, but by reverence. And because of this, the ecosystem has survived for centuries. The fish population remains healthy, the water remains respected, nature remains undisturbed, all because people believe they must not interfere. Surrounding the river is the Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove, a dense forest filled with shrines, sculptures, and sacred pathways. This grove is now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not just because of its beauty, but because it represents one of the last remaining examples of a living African spiritual landscape. Here, culture and nature exist as one. Visitors who come here quickly realize something unusual. There is a calmness in the air, a silence that feels intentional, a sense that this is not just a tourist site, but a place where something deeper is respected. Even tourists are warned to behave carefully, to avoid polluting the river, to avoid disrespecting the space, because this is not just history, this is living tradition. What makes the Osun River remarkable is not just the belief surrounding it, but the result of that belief. In a world where rivers are overfished, polluted, and exploited, this is one river where fish have lived in peace for hundreds of years. Not because humans cannot fish, but because they choose not to. Today, Osogbo is a modern town. People use smartphones. Cars drive past the sacred grove. Life continues as normal. Yet this ancient rule still stands. No fishing, no disturbance, no one challenges it. Because some traditions are stronger than modernity. The Osun River teaches a quiet lesson that sometimes belief can achieve what law cannot, that culture can protect nature more effectively than enforcement, and that respect for the unseen can preserve what is seen. So the next time you think about rivers as mere water, remember this one, a river in Africa where fish swim freely, where nets are never cast, where tradition protects what modern systems often fail to protect. This is the Osun River, the African river where nobody is allowed to fish. For centuries, it has flowed quietly through the forest, untouched, respected, protected. And its story remains one of Africa's most fascinating untold truths.